any of the top guys. I would have liked to go at Du Bois, but he just got beat by Usyk. It was a good fight though. I liked it. It was a good fight. But you know, they got Fila Parkovich over there. I think you guys be having him over there. Mm-hmm. But I really want to avenge my losses. That's what I want. So I'm really just trying to work to the road to getting back in the ring with Josh.
Jermaine, let's talk about those two losses. Out of Joshua and Whyte, who was the better fighter? Who was the tougher fighter to fight?
Joshua was the better fighter. Whyte probably was the tougher fighter to fight. I know that sounds crazy, but fans can say what they want to, whatever. But I was in the ring before I lost my cool. It kind of wasn't a hard fight. It was easy to jab him. He was going back a lot. I could throw the 1-2. So, like, the first 4 rounds, I was getting comfortable before I lost my cool. But in the Dillian fight, no matter what I did, like, Dillian would try to do something. He'd get rough, rugged, pushing, throwing club punches and stuff like that. But, Dillian probably was a little rougher to fight than it was to fight AJ.
Now, those are the words of Jermaine Franklin. And as you heard him say, Anthony was a better fighter or a better boxer. Dillian Whyte was a tougher fight. And let me counterpunch. This, people, shows you why styles make fights. Why guys that try to fight smarter instead of harder versus guys that are rougher and tougher. See, Dillian Whyte's rougher and tougher. Anthony Joshua, he is a guy that wants to do things smarter. So if you want to do things smarter, you're going to go out of your way to avoid certain things that are unnecessary. And I do feel what he's saying. See, if you look at those two fights between Jermaine Franklin and him fighting Joshua, him fighting Whyte, Whyte would always retaliate. That's why I always love the body snatcher. Now, I know he has some other shit going with the things, but Dillian Whyte is a guy that's going to fight you. He's not going to fuck around. He's not going to fight scared or timid. And, he's not going to be apprehensive. What you see is what you get with Dillian Whyte. With Anthony Joshua has spurts of this other person that may open up and throw 4 or 5 punches. And then all of a sudden he's back to the single jab. You know what I mean? Jab. That you know what I mean? He's like this dude that he's like, okay, he's just trying to be good at being perfect. Whereas Dillian Whyte don't give a shit. Dillian Whyte's like, look, I ain't got to be perfect. I just want to beat you up. You might get me, but I'm after you to get you. And I think that if Joshua was at himself, Joshua would have done what he's supposed to do. But keep in mind, when he fought Jermaine Franklin, okay, that was his first fight with Derek James. And I think he was trying to do too much as far as defense, and that's what he was working on. Which I'll give him a C-, because I wasn't impressed in what he was doing. Because if you're going to have that type of apprehensiveness, you could at least be effective to the point where it's like, okay, this guy, he's getting hit more, but he's doing more too. So, as far as that goes, but I think it's interesting from Jermaine Franklin to say what he's saying about those two fighters. But I could definitely see that. You guys hear me all the time talk about, like, hey, matter of fact, I say I wouldn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, but I would like to fight Anthony Joshua. I really mean that. Joshua's not a guy that's going to do things like Dillian Whyte's going to chop his shots. He's going to get in there. He's going to fight you. And I think what Jermaine Franklin really means to say is, I think Dillian Whyte at this point of his career is a better fighter than Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua is looking to box. He's not looking to fight. Dillian Whyte's looking to fight. He's going to box in between, but he's looking to fight ultimately. Okay, that's the difference between the two in their mentality, their brain width, their mind frame. They're like this. Look, Dillian Whyte wants to knock you out. He wants to land something hard and vicious, whereas Anthony Joshua wants to box you. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jermaine Franklin stating rating the two different fights between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!